You mentioned this earlier about Grant Hill. He's not just content guarding one guy. He's got to guard the entire floor for the Suns.
Well, let's see what he does now. He's been guarding Ginobili. Parker is coming in the game. Let's see if Grant Hill goes over to Parker. They're going to leave Barbosa on him. So when Nash comes back in the game, now they've got Dragic on Tony Parker. I like that matchup. So now you keep Grant Hill on Mountain Ginobili. Try to keep him calm down a little bit because he used to that spurt where he scored about 7 or 8 points in a hurry.
Parker's come in for Mason for San Antonio. Dudley is coming for Robinson for Phoenix. Shot clock is at 7 for Tim Duncan, picked up by Fry. Hill will come over and try to help Fry. There's some nice defense inside for the Phoenix Suns, and Dragic's the other way.
Channing Frye actually did a pretty good job in the first round on LaMarcus Aldridge, so his defense is a big plus right now.
Barbosa into Duncan with the screen by Fry and picked up by Ginobili, who gets the rebound. Hill is there. Duncan has screened the double on Ginobili. Duncan and Fry. Dudley was in there trying to hedge. Fry picks up the foul. Assessed his 4th personal.
What they're doing with Duncan, they don't want to double team him when he catches the ball, Kevin. So what they're doing is they're waiting for him to start his move, and then they're digging down from the top. You talked about Dudley digging down there, and then when Duncan saw that happening, he took the ball and he tried to get into the shooting motion. And watch what happens there. They're going to throw the ball in the post. Watch Dudley now. He doesn't go anywhere. Now watch when he starts bouncing the ball. That's when he's going to dig down and just try to fake at him and force him to try to make a play on the dribble. They're going to say now that he is not in the act of shooting, and they will take the ball sideline out of bounds.
Ginobili into Duncan. Great pass by Manu Ginobili on top. He comes up with his 5th assist. And Tim Duncan's got 15 points and 8 rebounds.
It's small ball right now for the Spurs with 4 guards and Duncan.
Dragic weaving through all those players. Mismatch against Duncan. Shot clock at 9. Dragic. Rebound by Duncan. Ginobili was leaking early. Here comes Hill and Manu. Slides in for 2. Ginobili has got a San Antonio high 23 points. 10-point game. Dragic for 3.
Bad shot. They don't need that shot like this. They need another run out for the Spurs. If they score here, look for Alvin to get a timeout.
Parker. Bogans. Dudley's on Parker. Dragic is on Bogans. Fry is watching Duncan. Now the switch. Dudley now goes on Parker. Tony Parker just makes things happen every time he comes in. You called it, Doug. Here's a timeout by Gentry. With a nice runner right there inside by Tony Parker. 19 points on 17 shots.
Well, Alan Gentry giving Channing Frye an earful on this play. Felt like he should have been back there helping. Did not get back into the play. The Spurs now in a 6-0 run. Alvin not happy. The Spurs are not going to go away. The Phoenix
Hall of Famer Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan, you see our score. It was 14, now it's down to 8. Doug, there are a lot of demons associated with the Suns and Spurs for Suns fans in this series.
Yeah, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, what bad can happen.
Right.
And that's why I think this next couple minutes for the Suns is very, very important. The Spurs have cut that 14-point lead down to 8 in a 2-minute period of time. Steve Nash back in the game, Jason Richardson, those guys have combined for 52 points. Let's see if the Suns can find a field goal on this possession.
Suns haven't scored from the field in over 3 minutes. Here's Nash. Ginobili knocks it away and picked up by Tony Parker. Ahead to Hill and to Stoudemire. Duncan puts it back up and in with 17. Tim Duncan. Nash has got 5 turnovers, Coach.
Well, that's what he's been struggling with here in the last few games. See if Frye can knock down a shot. He misses the 3, and here comes the Spurs. And once again, against small ball, they have 4 smalls out there with Tim Duncan. It's going to be middle screen roll and attack.
We called it Duncan inside. Stoudemire reaching in. Amari picks up the foul. That's number 3 on him. Just finishing up on some of the new players. You mentioned Nash is back in. He sat out for 20 minutes of real time. And the Suns were -2, Doug, in the category while he was resting.
But you see what's happening now. The momentum has swung to the San Antonio Spurs. I talked about Duncan's free throw shooting, 49% against Dallas. Let's see how he walks up to the line to shoot these 2. Critical time right now. You got to make free throws when you're trying to play in from behind. And you see what Tim Duncan did. I talked about it's 49%. Tonight he is 3 for 8.
Run by San Antonio. Aaron Nash. Duncan and Stoudemire. Hill and Ginobili. Richardson and Hill. Shot clock at 9. Sticking. Screen by Stoudemire. Switch with Duncan. Nash sliding in. Ginobili may have knocked it away, and he did with this defense. And here comes Parker. Ginobili. Bogans. Duncan. Oh, with a great twirling move and terrific passing by San Antonio. And Tim Duncan's got 27 coming, Doug, in this fourth quarter.
How about the spacing on the floor, though? They have the four guards outside the three-point line and Duncan working the paint.
Richardson guarded by Hill. Duncan and Stoudemire waging war on the block. Amari, the dive, the foul. Duncan. And Ginobili was in there. Duncan is slow. Miguel Bogans is slow to get up.
I think what they're going to rule here, did he catch that ball in the lower area? If he did, you can, as a secondary fender, come over and take the charge. So let's see what we're going to talk about here. But if he caught that ball in that lower quadrant, your secondary fender can take a charge in the restricted area. I think they're going to change this call.
It's going to be San Antonio's ball.
See, he catches the ball in that lower quadrant, and your secondary defender can take a charge in the restricted area. See where Amari catches that ball. So when Bogans comes over, his feet are in the area, but he can take that charge there. So the referees got together, and now the Spurs have the ball once again.
Stoudemire's got his fourth foul. Moving inside. Ginobili comes up. Just 7 minutes ago, if it gets down to a close game, and it is right now, Phoenix on top by 1. The drive by Stoudemire, the foul on San Antonio. Bogans coming across him as Amari was flying inside with 4:20 to play. Bogans picks up number 2.
See, this is the concern of the Phoenix Suns when you play the Spurs. You're playing this championship pedigree. 4 championships from Tim Duncan, 3 for Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. Spurs on a 13-0 run here. Now it's going to be important for Amari Stoudemire to stem the tide here and knock in a couple of these free throws.
Doug, 4 minutes ago, it was a 14-point lead for the Phoenix Suns, 94-80.
And this is what happens in series. You know, Greg Popovich could not find a group that he liked. All of a sudden, he goes to the bench to Bogans. He puts Hill out there with Parker and Ginobili and plays 4 around 1. Duncan just sort of working the middle. And it has worked beautifully here for the Spurs to get themselves back in this game.
Ginobili, Parker, Duncan, Hill, and Bogans for San Antonio. Bogans from Duncan over Richardson. Duncan gets it. Parker, Ginobili. Parker along, 2 over Richardson. Rebound by Amari Stoudemire, number 12, with his 21 points. And here comes Steve Nash. He's got 30. Suns in this fourth quarter, coach, 2 of 10, 3 turnovers. Screen by Stoudemire. Hill into Bogans. And a foul. Keith Bogans will pick it up the clock at 3:38 to play. Number 3 on Bogans of the San Antonio Spurs. And with Hill at the free throw line and a contemplative Greg Popovich, we can tell you the national TV schedule looks this way. TNT tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Atlanta, Orlando, and Utah and the Lakers. ESPN Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Atlanta, Orlando, Game 2. And then ABC this weekend. On Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the Lakers and Utah. Some big free throws for Hill, coach. And at the line tonight, 2 of 3 now with that hit.
Well, you start seeing the matchups now. Roger Mason is coming into the game. He's coming in for Bogans. He's going to give you better three-point shooting. Bogans gives you a little more toughness and size. And then Alvin Gentry comes in with Jared Dudley for Channing Frye, feeling he needs a little bit more defense on the perimeter because the Spurs have gone to a small lineup. So you're starting to see these coaches match up with one another And he's going to have a little timeout here as the Suns are going to talk about it, up by 4.